can't help but feeling, just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together?
Hi guys, and welcome back to our channel. It has been months, literally months. I've tried to film this video a million times, so I got Aspen down for a nap today, thank God. And I was just gonna basically do my hair because I haven't done my hair in probably months, just because I haven't felt like it. So I'm gonna do my hair while I kind of talk about what the heck is going on and what's been going on. So basically the last time that we chatted was Vlogmas. So I'm pretty positive there was like one last Vlogmas video posted and then nothing. I'm pretty sure there's nothing after that. So basically, to turn a long story into a short one, for that my camera decided not to work, and I couldn't figure it out, so I just gave up on it and was just gonna wait to save up to buy a new one, just because they are a little bit pricey. And then randomly Damien was like, why don't I look at it for you? I was like, go for it, I can't fix it. So he figured out what was wrong with it and made it work again. So that was probably mid-January when he figured out what was wrong with it. So already past Vlogmas, whatever, not a big deal. But so that is why we didn't continue Vlogmas, because the camera was broken. So mid-January, it's all the way April, what the heck is going on? January came, obviously Quentin's birthday was in the beginning of January, so my camera wasn't fixed until after that. So I basically just got a bunch of videos on my phone. I was posting shorts still while all this was going on, just because I could, because my phone wasn't broken, it was just my camera that was broken. So that's why we didn't completely fall off the face of the earth. But it was a little getting a little bit difficult to not be on a schedule of filming and trying to get shorts up, and shorts aren't my strong suit, never have been, probably never will be, which kind of sucks because shorts are huge right now. And obviously TikTok's a huge thing, but I just kind of posted them when I could and when I had something that was short enough for a short. But other than that, I didn't really post. So from January 13th until the end of January, I think I was just so out of filming that I was just I don't really want to right now. So I had lost all my motivation to film, and it was just I'm just trying to take care of everything in the house and myself and the kids, and it was just a lot all at once. So I just decided to just keep this step back that I had and just go from there. So then when I was just about ready to start filming again, obviously this if you want to go in-depth version, I'll probably post it somewhere up here, if it's been posted already. If not, it's coming out. But my cycle is really long, basically, and I never know really when I'm gonna get my period, so it's usually around every 42 days. So if it goes past that, I usually test, because I have no idea what's going on. And so it was past 42 days, it was 45 days, I think. And I randomly took a test because I was oh, I am pretty late, but I was that's normal, it's not anything unnormal for me to not have my period regularly. So I tested, and I obviously found out that I was pregnant, and I was very, very early along. So that started a whole heap of more stuff to take care of. So I found a midwife, and everything seemed like it was going good, and then she wasn't like a nurse midwife. So I guess there's 2 different types of midwives you can be. I only thought there was one, which the one I thought you could be is a certified nurse midwife, which means that you've had your like nursing degree and then you go on to get, I'm pretty sure this is how this works, there's like different acronyms depending on where you are and where you work, but you get your ARNP, which is a nurse practitioner, and then that's how you like decide that you want to be a midwife, and you train to be a midwife as being like a nurse practitioner. I'm pretty sure. I could be a little bit wrong with that, but basically you're like healthcare trained, like you are a healthcare provider, like you've been in this field prior, most likely. So that is what I thought she was, and she never told me anything different. And yikes. So basically I like usually have not major health issues while I'm pregnant, but like health issues to where like I need medication, and midwives usually take like, not that they like don't like medicine, but they like take like a more like holistic approach, which is fine by me. If I can stay away from as much medicine as possible, cool, because I usually have it like coursing through my veins. But the type of midwife that she is, don't even know like how to explain it, but she's not a nurse. She's not really any like healthcare background, really. Like, I know that like people that are those are gonna come after me and this can be rough, but I can't explain it any other way besides like she just gets like training by like another person that does the same thing, and you have to like go to so many births, you have to do like so many hours of like clinical type, I don't know, basically like not hospital trained. Like mine at least was not allowed to give birth in a hospital, and she never told me that, which that was my plan. I was never going to do a home birth. My house is not set up for home birth. I don't feel comfortable with a home birth, especially because my last baby was a C-section. Aspen was a C-section, not on my part, so I am like allowed to do a VBAC, but it's not safe. It's just not safe. When it comes down to it, it's not safe, because if your uterus does rupture, they can't do anything about it if you are at your house or even a birthing center. So that was not an option for me, and she never told me that uterine rupture was possible. I had to figure that out by myself, so that was also another red flag. And so I had to go to the hospital because I kept fainting, and like fainting, passing out, whatever you want to call it, and so like my heart would race, and then I would pass out and then like get sick all over myself, which I'm pretty sure like we've figured out what it is, but I still am waiting to get into my new OB to see if I can go to a cardiologist or if they want me to wait or what. So basically, when I went to the ER, they were like, you need to be seen by an OB as soon as you can. And I was like, okay. So I went to switch to a different practice because she doesn't have an OB that's like attached to her. It's like super messy. So I went to go switch, and then she like started kind of having like an attitude and was like, you need to like call me, and was like, they're not gonna let you do a VBAC, they're gonna lie to you, I don't understand why you have to go see an OB. It was just like really hostile, and I was like, you know what, like this is not your decision, it's my decision, it's the healthiest decision for me. I said, you didn't even give me antibiotics when my tests came back that I had a UTI. I was like, and that can make me very sick, and I can make the baby very sick. So I don't really feel comfortable continuing my care with you because you're not giving me adequate care, because you think that random fucking herbs can cure everything. And I was like, I don't feel that way. And she still didn't even address the fact that I had a UTI, and she still didn't tell me. I basically found that out on my own because I can look at my own lab work, and I know what a UTI looks like on lab work, obviously. And also when I went to the ER, they were like, hey, by the way, like, you have a UTI. And I was like, yeah, I know. She won't give me medication for it. And they're like, yeah, that's not good. So I went to go to try to switch practices, and she, oh, I sent over all your records, and she didn't. She wouldn't send it. She kept lying and saying that she did send it. So I was like, you know what? I want a hard copy of my records, and I'm coming to pick them up today, and I'm gonna bring them over there myself. Okay, so she printed out my like records, and it did not seem like it was all my records whatsoever at all. So I brought that over, and now I should be getting a call soon about setting up my first appointment at my new OB's office. Well, I'm already 14 weeks pregnant, which I mean, like, isn't like super far, but like it is when there's like a lot of stuff going on that I need to see an OB for. So we're just having so much fun over here. And then I got super sick the other day, and I went to the hospital because I couldn't keep anything down for over 24 hours. If you're pregnant, you're supposed to go get like IV fluids, and I needed something to get to stop getting sick. So I went to the ER, and they were super nice, and they were like, oh, you probably just like had food poisoning, because that's what it like presented itself as, which I was like, yeah, like it's definitely just food poisoning, like I agree with you. And so they like didn't like do any swabs or anything, because they were like, this is like presenting as food poisoning. So I go home and I'm fine after I get the medicine, and they like prescribed me medicine and it was fine. And then Aspen started getting like horrendously sick, and I was like, this is not good. So I took her over to the ER because she hadn't even had a wet diaper in 48 hours, which is, I think like the max you're supposed to do is 24, and she couldn't keep anything down. So I was like, time to go. So we go to the ER, and they're like, yeah, like this isn't normal. They were like, we're gonna give her some Zofran. We don't want to poke her unless we have to for an IV. And I was like, I get it. And so they give her Zofran to try to make her stop throwing up, so then they could try to like reintroduce liquids to her. And I am not kidding you, I have never seen an allergic reaction this bad in my entire life. And it was on a 2-year-old, which she's tiny. She's a tiny 2-year-old. I literally was like, I thought I just had not seen that she had a rash the whole time, but the doctor had literally just been in there to like tell me like, hey, like we're giving her Zofran, and then they gave it to her, and she broke out in this horrendous rash. She was like, oh, feel good, and I was like, yeah, I can see that you don't feel good, something's not right. So they go and get the nurse, and she's like, I'm gonna go get the doctor, and I was like, okay. And so the doctor comes in, and she's like, yeah, that's not normal, we're gonna get Benadryl. And I was like, okay, cool. It took them like 20 minutes to get her Benadryl, and I was like, she's starting to like gasp for air. What are we doing? Like, I know you can override your, it's called like an Omnicell at most hospitals, with 2 RNs, so go override it and get me the fucking Benadryl. And so they like finally got it, and I'm like, okay, like it shouldn't have taken that long to get Benadryl. And I was like, yeah, I think we're doing an IV now, because now she's needs to get that flushed out of her system, and she's super dehydrated. And they're like, yeah, that is a good idea to do an IV. And I was like, I don't think I should be telling you what's a good idea and what's not. Like, you are a doctor, you are a nurse. I don't think I should be telling you what's a good idea. So they like go to give her an IV, and she's so out of it by this point that she literally just laid there. She didn't move at all when they gave it to her. They like were anticipating her to like freak out about it, and she had no energy to do any of that. So she just laid there, and she poked her once and like drew back because she noticed that she wasn't gonna get the vein, which I greatly appreciate, rather than her fishing for the vein. And Aspen just went, ow, didn't cry or anything. And then when she put it in, she just pouted. That's all she did. And the nurses were like, yeah, she's not like doing good. And I was like, I know. I was like, that's why I brought her here. Like, what the heck is going on? And it was just like, overall, they got her like fluids. She is never allowed to have Zofran ever in her life, which sucks because that is the only medication apparently that they can give kids when they're vomiting profusely. So the only other thing that we have been like doing is Benadryl, because it can have like the same type of like, it can calm down their stomach, and so far that's been working for Aspen, so I've been using that. But yeah, that was utterly terrifying, going to a hospital and having them look at me like I had the answers to all of their problems. I was just like, I don't think you're looking at the right person right now. Like, you need to be looking at the doctor, not me. So yeah, that was pretty interesting. And she is home, obviously, because she's taking a nap right now. She still is like a little iffy on whether she feels great, but she has been able to keep food down. She's on antibiotics because it ended up being strep throat that we both had apparently, and I'm on antibiotics, so I'm okay. And we've both been on them for days now, so we're like good to go, and nobody's sick anymore. She's just like really tired and weighed down, I feel like. But other than that, that's been our exciting adventure lately. We haven't really had much else going on. We are planning our Disney vacation, and it's at the end of May. So we're going to Disney for like one day, but that's where the kids wanted to go, so we're going there. And then we're also going to SeaWorld and maybe Universal. We're not 100% decided on it yet, because we're trying to see if we're getting passes or not, because it's the same price to do a down payment on the passes as it is to get a ticket. So I don't really see the point of buying tickets for one day when we could just buy passes and it's the same price. So we're gonna conversate about that. We also are starting to, we're also starting to gather animals for a wonderful little homestead that we're starting, which I'm going to be filming more about that. It's just been kind of like all over the place, so I haven't like filmed anything about that. The first purchase we had to make at the animal auction was geese, because Quentin said he wanted them. The first auction we went to on Friday, they went for like way too expensive. I was like, no bud, like we're not doing it. And so then we went to another one on that Sunday, and I said, you can bring your own money, and if you can afford them, you can get them. You can get them. And they went for a little bit over what he had, but obviously we just covered the difference and it wasn't a big deal. But he was so proud of it. He's been taking care of them. So that was our first like animal purchase onto our property. And we're conversating with a lady about goats that she like lives near us, so we're conversating with her. And then my parents had they have one baby girl goat that was born 3 weeks ago, I'm pretty sure. So we're waiting to take her, and then we're also waiting on their other female to give birth so that we can see what she like gives birth to, so that we can, if they're girls, we're gonna take them too. If it's a boy, I don't know if we're gonna take the boy or not. And it just depends, because it depends on if we have two different like areas for them, because the boys can get a little rough with each other, and that's like really not safe. So my parents have a boy and we have a boy, so we can kind of co-mingle with everybody and everything, so that's also an option. But the lady we're talking to, she has a boy and a girl, and that would be perfect, because then we don't have to get a wether until then, which a wether is just a boy that he's fixed, he's neutered, and he can be around another boy because they won't fight for attention of the girls. So that we're waiting on, and then all the other girls will just come down when they're old enough. So that's what we're waiting on. But yeah, that's like roughly what's been going on right now, I think. I know I'm forgetting 1,010 other things, but we are going back to filming. We just really needed a break. There was so much going on. I was also so sick during my first trimester. Not like sick as in like getting sick fully. I was drained. I was tired. I was trying to take care of the kids while I was drained and tired. It was not a great thing. So second trimester, we're finally in it. We've made it over the hump. I feel a little bit better. I'm still a little bit tired, but overall I feel a lot better. And I will be like filming like updates of, I have to film my first trimester, like kind of what happened in my first trimester, so that'll be coming out. The baby announcement obviously already came out, or else I wouldn't be talking about this. And what else is coming out? Obviously we're vlogging our vacation to Orlando. Yeah, I'm not sure what else. There's a bunch of other stuff that's on there. But basically we'll keep you guys in the loop of what's going on. I've been trying to like kind of get better on my Instagram, but it's like, so I just forget it's there. I really do. I completely forget that Instagram is ever there. That's always my issue. But we are going to keep you guys in the loop now, and obviously like start out filming again. I feel so bad. And we definitely will be filming this labor and delivery, because we think this is our last baby. I say we think because like I'm always like up for another baby, but like if my body's not up for it, then we really can't do it again. But it makes me like sad thinking this is our last baby. I would have 1,000,000 babies if Damien would let us have 1,000,000 babies, and if my body would let us have 1,000,000 babies. Damien is scared because of how just like traumatic our birth with Aspen was, which I completely understand. But yeah, we're definitely filming this one because I just want like something to remember. Every time we've tried to film the other two kids with Quentin, it was just a literal clusterfuck. And with Aspen, obviously everything happened very quickly, with like having to get an emergency C-section. So we'll see what happens.